As a beginner in GTA Online, one of the first thoughts through your mind is, which vehicle do I buy? After all, this is a game about driving and shooting things, and unless you have a decent ride, you won't make it very far, whether you're playing PvE or PvP. However, there is a big problem. We've got way too many vehicles to choose from at the beginning, which makes it impossible to understand as a beginner which ones are worth your money. And on top of that, you also don't have much cash to spend, so your options are kind of limited, which is why in this video, I'll take a look at the top 10 vehicles that every beginner should buy, and I'm going to be putting some of the cheapest ones up top so you can get out there and set up a solid foundation for yourself without having to spend much money at all. Realistically, almost all of the vehicles on my list here can be obtained within a couple days of grinding the Cluck and Bell Farm raid, which is a heist that's accessible to everyone right from the very start with zero investment on your part, so you don't even need any prep work to get going. In fact, the first car on this list is 100% free, so you don't even have to complete any content to get it. Meet the Impante Duke of Death. 5 tons of supercharged high-speed violence on wheels, a hulking behemoth of steel and bulletproof glass designed for the sole purpose of wreaking havoc wherever it goes. Once you sit inside of this car, you're protected from pretty much every angle except for the driver's side front window, which does have an opening through which bullets can pass through. However, you can also shoot out of it, so as long as you drop the enemy with your gun before they get to you, you're completely safe. The Duke can power through 9 homing missiles and 3 RPGs before its armor finally fails, and if you get yourself an agency, you can make it even more survivable by installing an Amani Tech missile lock-on jammer, which will completely nullify the tracking on incoming homing missiles, so the only way anyone can destroy you is by manually aiming and shooting at you. Car number 2 on my list is the Armored Kuruma, which is a nice alternative to the Duke of Death for people who want better traction and the ability to seat 3 passengers, in case you ever feel like doing heists with a squad of friends. Now, the Kuruma isn't free, it costs $698,000, however that's still peanuts compared to what most armored vehicles cost these days in the era of GTA inflation. Objectively speaking, you're getting an absolute bargain with the Armored Kuruma because it offers a level of protection that you don't even get with heavily armored vehicles such as the Night Shark or APC. The Kuruma's bulletproof windows on both sides as well as the windshield are designed in a way that completely prevents bullets from slipping through. Is it 100% bulletproof? Functionally, yes. Every 100 rounds or so, a bullet might sneak in, but you'll be so preoccupied with mowing down enemies that you won't even notice it. The top speed of 109 miles an hour isn't anything amazing, but it has really good acceleration and all-wheel drive, so it handles way better than the Duke on dirt and mud. Plus, you can get it for free if you create a new account on Expanded and Enhanced and that version of GTA, so if you have a copy of this game on current gen consoles and you're creating a new character, then you're in luck because the Armored Kuruma is one of the finest vehicles in the entire game. Just don't drive it anywhere close to exploding armaments because it will blow up with a single sticky bomb or RPG, and that means it's pretty much worthless in PvP free roam where everyone's spamming homing missiles at you, or railguns, or grenades, things of the like. Vehicle number 3 is going to require a bit of grinding on your part, however it will be far worth it in the end because if you get it early you'll have what I consider the second best money grinding tool in all of GTA Online, and in some cases it might even be the best. I'm talking about the Sparrow Helicopter, which you can get as a moonpool upgrade for your Kasaka submarine. Of course, you'll need that Kasaka first, which costs $2.2 million by itself, then you'll have to spend a further $1.8 million on a Sparrow Helicopter, and if you want homing missiles for it, that's another $240,000. So the total sum of your expenses will be just over $4 million or 8+ Cluck and Bell Farm raids, but here's what you get for that money. Access to Cayo Perico since you purchased the Kasaka, and as we all know, Cayo is easily one of the best money grinding tools in the game despite its massive cooldown. You're guaranteed at least $1 million even if you get off a loot like the Sinsamito Tequila, and that's in normal mode. On hard mode, you can make $1.1 million from Tequila and $1.5 million if you get the necklace. It's good, not as spammable as it once was, but still good as long as you manage to stealth the whole finale, and it only requires less than 1 hour of your time. The way I do it is 4 Cluck and Bells, buy myself a Kasaka, do a couple of Cayo Perico heists, and bam, now there's more than enough cash in the account to both purchase a Sparrow and upgrade it with homing missiles. This can all be done within 2 days, so if you're doing some kind of 0 to billionaire challenge, there you go. The Sparrow will prove to be an indispensable tool in your journey, and you can have it right from the very start. The Baty 801RR is another excellent pick for new players, as it only costs $15,000 and is one of the fastest bikes in the game for time trials and general purpose travel. For this price, you're getting a vehicle that can hit 135 miles an hour, and if you have any idea how fast that is in GTA land, you'll immediately recognize that the Baty 801RR is possibly the best value for money land vehicle in the game. And it's not like the Baty 801RR is just a straight line monster either. It can also fly around a circuit at insane speeds. To give you some context tier, in standardized testing done by Bruffy1322, a fully upgraded Baty 801RR managed a 58.625 second lap, which, by the way, is faster than most HSW cars. It's faster around a track than cars like the Turismo Classic, Stinger TT, Entity MT, S95, all this in a bike that can be purchased for 15 grand. The same amount of money as a couple of ammo refills is just absolutely insane to me. If you're doing time trials and you can't afford the Hakuchou drag just yet, grab yourself a Baty 801 or 801RR because it's going to serve you extremely well. But if you can't afford the Hakuchou drag, I think you should grab it right away, because with HSW upgrades, there is no land vehicle in GTA Online that can go around the map faster than the drag bike. In a perfect world, the streets would be devoid of traffic, and the Stinger TT as well as Banshee GTS would be able to drive around without crashing into people every 5 seconds, hitting their maximum potential. But we don't have a perfect world in GTA Online. There are NPC cars and trucks driving all around you, and most of them are on rails, but sometimes an NPC will also just decide to swerve into you or pull a turn seemingly out of nowhere. And in those situations, nothing beats a motorbike because you can effortlessly cut through traffic like it isn't even there. You can race through peak rush hour traffic as you do your time trials. You can go off-road in ways that simply aren't possible with a car, and no motorbike in the game is faster than the Hakuchou drag, whether we're talking acceleration, overall handling, or grip. Your first HSW mod at Howe's Workshop is going to be free, and I highly recommend using it on the Hakuchou drag if you're primarily concerned with grinding PvE content, because there are missions where you need the speed of the drag more than you need the armor of the Kuruma. Missions where you can't use the Sparrow, otherwise you just take that thing everywhere, of course. The Briade 6x6 is up next, and it's an interesting choice for me, and I decided to keep this one on my list because it fulfills a very different purpose from any of the other vehicles on here. Up until this point, everything that I've recommended is centered around going really fast or keeping your character protected. Well, the Briade does protect you, very well in fact, as it can tank up to 48 RPGs, the second highest amount of any vehicle in the game, beaten only by the MOC, but that's not why we're gonna buy this thing, because as a new player, you probably don't intend on getting into duels with Oppressor griefers just yet. Actually, the reason you should get the Briade is because the game is literally handing it to you on a silver platter and paying you for the privilege of owning one. Seriously, as soon as you hit level 5, you get a call from Ron asking you to show up at Ace Liquors over in Sandy Shores, and from there you get to start the Los Santos drug war storyline. It's divided into 2 parts, First Dose and Last Dose, with 11 missions in total, but here's the thing, you get a special version of the Briade 6x6 for free in mission number 6 of First Dose, which normally costs $1.4 million on Warstock cash and carry. It allows you to set up an acid lab in the back, which produces $351,000 worth of product every 3 hours if you have the upgraded equipment, and it'll generate it even faster if you use the production speed boost, and that's over $100,000 per hour. 100% passive income, and you don't even have to travel to the business because you can just summon the acid lab to you from the service vehicles menu whenever you need to resupply, or just simply call up Mutt on your phone. That's even quicker. And the best part is that you only get one sale vehicle every single time, unlike the MC businesses or the bunker, for example, which will give you 3, and in the case of the bunker, sometimes even 4 vehicles that you need to drive around the map that can take you 30 minutes, while the acid lab sell missions are usually done in as little as 10 minutes. You don't really have to spend a single cent on setting up any of the equipment either, because the game will give you all the money you need from the drug war story missions and by doing fooligan jobs for Dax. So in essence, not only is this a free vehicle, but also a free S tier business. And the fun doesn't stop there, because my next vehicle, the Ocelot Virtue, can be had for free. It's one of the fastest electric hypercars in the game, with S-tier acceleration, all-wheel drive, and support for Amani Tech upgrades like that super important missile lock-on jammer. The armor on this car is also super robust, and since it's electric, once you install the Amani Tech armor panels, it can tank up to 12 RPGs as well as 12 homing missiles, which is a super stark contrast from internal combustion engine vehicles that tank way fewer RPGs than they do homing missiles, because RPGs do thrice the explosive damage compared to homing missiles in this game. But the Virtue can tank an equal amount of both. And it's also going to set you some blazingly fast lap time, so you should grab it ASAP. Don't buy it though, because that'll cost you $3 million. Instead, what I recommend you do is the 11th and final mission in the Dax questline, in the Last Dose story missions. The first part of the storyline gets you the Acid Lab, the second part of the storyline gets you the Virtue, and after that, you'll get that call after the final mission with the location of Dr. Isaiah Friedlander's personal Ocelot Virtue. It's right here in this parking lot. Just walk up, get inside, choose a garage, and drive away, and it's yours to keep forever. Vehicle number 8. The Terabyte is generally not considered a beginner's vehicle, as you need to spend a hefty sum of cash to get one, and then you spend even more money upgrading it, but I assume a lot of beginners are going to go for the garment factory as it's one of the best businesses in the game, and that automatically makes you eligible to own a Terabyte since it can only be purchased if you have a nightclub or now a garment factory. So why not spend the extra $1.4 million and get yourself one? That's one Cayo Perico heist plus one Cluck and Bell Farm raid. And then by spending a further $1.2 million, you can upgrade the master control terminal inside of it since you already have a garment factory. If you have a nightclub, this will take you longer as you do need to save up $2.3 million for the garment factory first, but if you have one, you can just drive your Terabyte inside the garment factory garage and install that terminal, which lets you monitor and resupply every single one of your other businesses that you own. You can rebook DJs to maintain popularity in your nightclub, you can resupply MC businesses at the bunker, you can even start doing sourcing missions for your vehicle or cargo warehouses. The Terabyte with a master control terminal upgrade is one of the best grinding tools that a beginner can have, and I see no reason why you shouldn't spend a few days earning this vehicle early on, because it will make the entire rest of your GTA Online career so much easier. The Stroberg is next up, and this might seem like a weird pick at first because isn't it just a worse Toreador? True, but here's the deal. Check out this price tag. Now compare it to the Toreador. As you can see, there is a massive difference in favor of the Stroberg, which makes it one of the most affordable weaponized vehicles for new players. And the good news doesn't end here, because unlike the Toreador, you can actually use this car in contact missions as well as prep missions for the casino and doomsday heists. And with it comes a set of front-mounted machine guns pre-installed that do really high damage, unlike the wimpy little pea shooters that you get on the Night Shark, for example. And you don't need an MOC to put missiles on this thing either. In fact, you don't need to upgrade it at all for weapons because it comes with excellent homing missiles by default as soon as you buy this car. Impressed? You should be. Now go grab yourself a Stroberg and be amazed at how good it is for the price you're paying for it. And then finally, for my most controversial pick here, I'm gonna go ahead and recommend the Oppressor Mark II. I know. It's been associated with griefers, and it's also one of the most expensive vehicles on the list at $8 million, which is going to seem absolutely outrageous for a new player, yes, but hear me out. What other vehicle in the game offers you the same combination of speed, mobility, and offensive power as the Oppressor Mark II? Name a single flying vehicle in this game that will fit into the same cramped space as the Oppressor, that spawns right next to you, that handles the way this thing does, and even if you don't plan on going into PvP and duking it out with other flying vehicles, the Oppressor's main value lies in its grinding potential. You start a mission, you sit on your Oppressor like it's a horse in Red Dead, you fly there, shoot everyone, take what you need, fly back. It's that easy. And if you already have a Terabyte, you can bring that price down from $8 million to $6 million by doing 5 Terabyte client jobs. So while it is a significant investment, of course, the earlier you get one, the better, because it's going to pay for itself several times over in the long run, save you so much time, and make the game more entertaining, at least in the early days. But that's it for my top 10 recommendations on which vehicles beginners should buy. I know some of these, like the Terabyte and the Oppressor Mark II, are going to be a bit controversial, and they're also expensive, but I think the higher cost you pay up front is 100% worth it compared to later on, because you're just getting two of the best grinding tools in the game, and they also have strengths outside of grinding too. For example, the Terabyte with a missile jammer and silent running module upgrade is the most survivable vehicle in the game, and the Oppressor Mark II, well, it's the Oppressor Mark II, and it's deadly in a fight even after all the nerfs. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to see more content like this. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv for more GTA Online money grinding live streams. And also check out my YouTube shorts and TikToks for daily short form GTA Online rapid fire tips, tricks, news, updates, guides, leaks, tutorials, and more. And I will see you guys in the next video. Adios, amigos.